Tom Aspinall. I am no longer worried because there was a lot rocking on in that fight. He knew if he was going to lose that fight, John Jones and Dana White would have written him off and said, oh, he was never that good. Because as you can see, when Dana White at the press conference, what do you think about Tom Aspinall versus John Jones? Dana's like, yeah, after John Jones versus Stipe, that's probably the fight we're going to make. You got to understand Dana's language and what he says versus what he means. It's pretty transparent that he's letting you know that, he's got his own agenda. And I don't know what he's going to do. Dana might surprise us all, but here's where Dana's going with this. What he says is after John fights Stipe, what he means is I want John to fight Stipe because he needs to get a good defense before we send him off, and then he's just not going to fight again. And then I guarantee you, as soon as John Jones versus Stipe happens, that's when John Jones lays the octagon gloves in, and Dana White says, oh, he's the greatest of all time. He could do whatever he wants. I'm just saying, once you understand the nature of this sport, it doesn't leave anything to real prediction, really, because the writing's usually on the wall. So, my batting average for the sport is still pretty good. Am I always right? No, but once I understand how the politics behind all this works, you'll never get disappointed and you'll feel like Nostradamus of MMA. However, Aspinall probably knew what was going on walking into that octagon. He's like, I got to go against the one guy that was able to beat me, and I got to do it in spectacular fashion. And Tom Aspinall, another person who he just puts away like that. That was very legit. And to do it to Curtis Blaydes after what Curtis Blaydes had done to him is phenomenal. Because let's say Curtis Blaydes would have won that fight and was the new interim champion. They were going to say, hey, he was never that good. He was overrated. We get it. But Tom Aspinall won the physical test. He won the mental test. He won all sorts of pressures going on him. The guy's mental fortitude is as strong as his physical fortitude. And if they were to actually face off with John Jones and Tom Aspinall, I really would have to say Tom Aspinall is that last gigantic test that John Jones really actually has to get through. And I think he would make John Jones throw some knee stomps if he had to. So, it's pretty set in stone that Tom Aspinall is saying, nothing personal, but I really think I could beat you, and I really think he believes that. Is he actually going to do it? I'm going to give John Jones a little bit of credit here, where it's due. Every time everyone wanted to see him fail, he didn't do it, So we don't know exactly where this is going to go. But I'm going to add one more thing before I close this off. DC really wanted Tom Aspinall to call out John Jones. You could tell when DC had that microphone, he's like, Tom, avenge me. So, that was the perfect send-off, perfect octagon interview. And, Curtis Blaydes just took the loss on the chin. He's going to move forward. And that's another thing. Curtis Blaydes, look, I understand he's top 5 status at this point, but let's just give him a little bit of credit. He is a class act. He does show up for the company. And I think it's sad that Curtis Blaydes himself doesn't get as much attention as he does, because that guy is a staple to the heavyweight division. So even though he ultimately lost in devastating fashion last night, it's happening. It's like he's a class act all over the place. And, thank you, Curtis Blaydes, for always being around. Now, where do you go forward in your career from here? I don't know. I expect to see you back, but big congrats to Tom Aspinall. Another triumph moment, and man, this ended in the best way it possibly could have. Peace.